Friends, we'll be back into this new video tutorial with the OSP Pro. In this video today I'm going to show you how I happen to create make up my complete information management system for students. Now the system has a setup. Let me just pause here and I try to show that. Wow, that's great. So I think I can show you now from here. This is the setup of the system. So I can even search it using my start key. So if I come on start key here and I look for what known as the info management system, this means info management system. If you happen to click on it, then the system can always open up. Now at the same time, let's just try to pause back and I try to take my system to the right way. Think that's great. Now let me just show what I'm trying to mean about is that the system has a setup. Let me just show that. If you happen to double click here on my stuff here, you can see how I generated up the system. This is the setup of it. If you double click on run, it will generate for that form, which form I've already shown you the setup of my system, and actually it's a desktop application. If you try to also remember when you happen to type in here what known as info, I think you can see it's showing you as what known as if you type that, you can see it is desktop application. So in a simple term, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a desktop application using one known as Visual Basics, completed Visual Basics with an access combination as a database to make a complete program. Now if you totally maybe you are interested in this system, I'm going to be in position to make one. Maybe before making, I can just share what the system can do. You can always try to move around the system, around the data you have happened to enter there. You can go and click new, whereby that's number 8. Now this one I didn't put the ID to be autocomplete, that's why it's giving like that. So if I just put here maybe just make something simple, put there the name as maybe Julie, or maybe enable something like that. And if this is Julie or Juliet, the course is doing maybe the IT, that's the course, and maybe the year of intake, that's the year, maybe that's it, 2000 maybe 18, and the final year, the year of finalizing, I believe maybe the person has to be finalizing by the year of maybe 2000 and maybe 2021 if at all is doing degree. And then maybe the contact information of the person can be maybe, if that's it, that's it. So when I click on save, I think you can see saying okay, OSP, that's it. The data is already saved out in the database, and I think you can see how information is happened to be saved into our database. Now the point is that we can even delete that very data. So when you click here, I think you can see that data already deleted off. So you can pick any, you can even be moving up on the data. If you say you want to delete that one, you can delete it, as long as you happen to click on the delete button. Now my friends, I think I've used this minutes now down here to show you this system. But if you know this is your first time to watch OSP programming video, I just request you make sure you subscribe to my video. Please support me by you subscribe to my channel for more details. So let us sit down right now at the moment and we make this system together. So I'm going to close all of this stuff so that we can come up with the system. Now we are going to create a very simple system just for demonstration to make sure that we get to know the idea. I'm going to just create one known as information management system. So we are just going to make something very brief, not very complicated. So open up your Visual Basics. Open up Visual Basics from, I'm going to open up Visual Studio. I think you can see I'm using to 10. That's what I have. So just make sure you click on new project. So I'm going to just pick one. Just going to use new project so that I can create up a new project for myself right now. So this one I can just call it one known as student information system. Student info system. It's going to be student information system. That's what I'm going to call the name of my system, and I'll just leave it in projects. So I'll click OK. So I believe it's going to be generating for me that simple form. Now we could even make this system to have a database. No, the login first. The user has to first log in. After login, then you can access the system. I'll make with you that one next, but let us know, since even I already made a video for login. If you know you'd like to know the video, please just go and try to cross check on my videos for Visual Basics. You'll get there. So just try to resize your form. My form was initially like kinda small, so I've tried to happen to resize. So you can also right click and go to the properties, then you go down where they say size. I think you can see the size of this form, so you can just change this form based on the size I would like to use. So you can click there and I try to maybe pick the size I would like my form to be having. So I'm just come back down here and I just change this one to maybe to 5000 to be the width, and then the height to be 800. Yeah, that's it, to be 800, like that, so that we have something. So let me just change this a little bit to be 3000. Oh no, meant this one to be 5000, but the height here to be 700. I think that's great. So when you happen to click on run, you should get a system something similar to that. Now there's one property you have now to go and try to cross check on the system. To make your system come back in the position like that, you just happen to come back and try to right click, go to properties and go to start position, click on start position and make it center screen, so that your system should be in the center screen. And let us also remove this information on the layer, that kind of text you are seeing there. So you can just right click there down and just move this text off. So you can just put the one as a student information system. That's what I'll put there. So that's what we'll be seeing around there. I've already happened to put the one student registration, student information management, student information, wow, student information management system. So that's it. I think that's the name. Now let us use this minutes around time. Let's use this minute and we try to give the real design. So to do that, go to toolbox. If you're not seeing, then you go to Windows, go to where is it, tools, and then you can always figure out, click on tool, and then you'll be getting it on the external tools and the rest of the tools connection. So just go to tools here and then just click on label. So I'm going to pick label, or before label we can even make our system nice by going to panel and try to give some good design for our system by picking the panel, and then we happen to fix this to be somewhere around our system here. That one to be our title, so you can right click on it and just use one on as light, control light or control light. So you can pick on the system, or you can use this white, that just pick one of that. So that's bit kind of good. Or you can also right click and look on the border style, whereby the border is going to be at fixed 3D. It's kind of that. So this is kind of bit nice and interesting for our system. So that's what's going to be on the label part of our system up there. So we can just click on the system, try to reduce this a bit down there, and then just come and now pick a label. So our label is going to be inside that part of the system, which is going to be having the same statement we happen to put the other side around, which is going to be a student information management system, like that. That's what's going to be there. So just click on it and go to font size. You can always pick the font size, make it bold, make it 30 or 40, kind of bit big. Wow, that's great. So you can always just try to frame this to be in the part you want. If it is too big, you can always go and try to frame it back basing on the size you want. So I can just make mine to be 35 or 33. So if I click OK, I think, my friends, you can see how my system tends to be like. So, and I can frame it where I need it to be. I think you can see the system looks nice. That's it. So that's what we have. So you can also go and change that font color to kind of what you know you would like to or interested on, or what you feel like it's good for you. That looks to be kind of cool. And if you try to run the system, and that's how we expect the system to be looking by this time. So it's going to be one on a student information management system. So let's just finalize that very fast. by clicking on it, and then just change on the font size, whereby I may just give it one as a 30, so that it look kind of small and can take the real size of our screen. I'll take that. Now let us try to do the other following steps. We're going to be using the student information, so click in here and then just go to crop group box. So click on group box, and then you can bring that group box around here if that's what you want. You can bring it around there. So this group box is just going to be having some data, so I can just position my group box around the system like this, whereby the information will be up on top, which we're going to be dividing ourselves. So this is the first group box, so I'm just going to move this part of the stuff off by removing this text off. That's one off. I'll remove that off, and I may just pick this kind of color which we happen to use there, which is this. So I may just copy it, and I click on this group box, and I change that the background color of that text to be the text of the other one, so that we can have something like that. So when we try to run the system, we have something kind of like that. So this is the part of the system we may happen to apply our stuffs, or if not, so you can remove these stuffs off, depending on how you want to frame up your system. So I'm just trying to show you around here what you can always utilize with your system. So you can just take that back to control. Wow, control to control. That's kind of control. Now let's just come back in here, and we try to start framing up our stuff so that we can get something we need. So come back in here. We need to add some few stuffs into our system. One, we're going to add what known as students details. So to add those student stuffs, come and click here and just try to put this down here. So this is going to be just one known as may just put that down, or I may just put that there. So just come back in here, come in here, you can pick a group box, whereby this is going to be picking the details of a student. That's it. Depends on how you want it to frame up. Just gonna to click it off. I delete off, just add the data from here. Yeah, so just come and click in here, and I pick here a label. So I'm just going to change that one maybe to one on a student. Just use capital letters. Student ID. We shall need a student ID. So I may just also copy with the text box at once, so that again don't waste a lot of time picking them. So in a simple time we shall need those two stuffs, whereby we shall need the student ID, and then so I'm just going to copy that, holding Ctrl with the C to copy and Ctrl with V to paste. So you just need some few stuffs there down. So just do the same thing, copy them and try to paste them down around like that. Just paste them down. That's what we have so far at the moment. So we can just also just click around them. You hold the Control, you hold right click and go to properties. Then you can also go and change the font size to whatever size you would wish to maybe have of the system. So if you take 14, I think 14 is nice, and then you can also click around here and make this to the size you would like to need if you need. So if you try to cross check, this is going to be what known as student maybe student name, student first name. Yeah, that's it. And this is going to be one known as student last name, student course, and the course a student is doing. You can also add another one around here. May copy and paste another one, so that we have a student name, student course, student last first name, course, student ID or registration number. That's what so far we have there. And then if that's what we have student course, student name, and then this one can lastly simply be one known as the student intake here, the year of intake here. That's what I'm going to take there, and I may just copy this very one and I'll try to paste it around this side so that I can get a wonderful system kind of looking. It will be just a simple demonstration but kind of organized. And then I happen now to paste another one, student completion here. So this is going to be for completion. So I think you can see we have the one known as completion here. We have intake here and completion here. Then here down we're going to have our stuffs, whereby we shall be having other few stuffs holding our information that we're going to be maybe in a position to need. We may use one known as a panel again around there. So you may just frame it somewhere there like that. Give assumption if that's what you want. You can always just frame it like that. Then you can go to border style and take to one on 3D so that you can get something so colorful like that. So if you try to run the system at the moment, members, I think that's what you can always get up. We have something so cool around the system like that. So this one you can also change to the colors you would wish maybe to have. So for 16 minutes to go, so let me just click here again and take that very color, that very one up there is one I'm going to use around here. So that's it. So if you see, that's great. So let's just try to put some few stuffs inside there, whereby I may just first of all need a button, one button. One's going to be for adding the data. So that's one button. I may just hold the control with the V, I'll paste another button. I may also just hold the control with the V to paste another button. I may need actually like 6 buttons. So far those are 4. I may need the last one, so I may just try to raise this like that, and maybe I happen to copy these very buttons and bring them there so that I can always come and paste another button around there. So if you try to cross check, our button is too big compared to what you want, so you can just go try resizing them, and we try to get something to basing on what we really want. So if you try to cross check, that's what we want. So if you cross check, that's what so far I have. So the first button is going to be add, so you can just make that one be add new, whereby it will be adding new item. This one's going to be saving the item added by the user, so I may just call it save. And then this one I may make it to be deleting for us the value added, so delete. Then this one is going to be for one on us previous. So to make it very simple, I may just use those 2 arrows, and then this is going to be for forward, so we'll be forwarding the information. And then this is going to be for closing the application or exit the application. So I may just say close the application. So far I can simply say the interface is done. If you try to cross check, that's what I will simply say. Maybe one thing that I have not yet happened to add into this application. So before that, let me just try to highlight this one around here, and I try to increase on the font. I'm trying to make the font bit kind of big to fit our own stuff like that, to have a reasonable kind of application. So if you happen to try to run the application, you should get something like that. So far you can see nothing is so far is working as we expect, or nothing is working as expected at the moment, but then the thing is good. So let's just try to say that's what so far we have at the moment. So if you try to cross check, that's what so far we have. Now let me just add one on us the data grid view, which we're going to be in position to need in our system. Let's add the data grid view into our application so that we can have a complete working system on it. Then we shall go back to the database very fast. Now if you try to cross check, let's just do that very fast. I'm just going to add the grid here down. That's why I left this partition down here. So let us try to add that very fast. To add that, just go here again to our tool and then look for data grid view. Data grid view is here. Click on it and then just try to paste it here down. So when after doing so, you can always just drag this one to position you need, kind of like that, so that I can get something like that. So I can just bring this element of ours bit kind of in the middle. Wow, that's something like that. So far I think the thing is good compared to what you need. So far that's what we're going to be in position to need. So I don't have the data yet, that's why you see I will simply say there's nothing yet in our application there. So if you happen to run the application, you should be in a position right now at the moment to have a kind of a system like that. You get? Now remember, these stuffs are so far not yet coordinating at all, so there's no way I can simply say that the system is working and there's nothing you can see. We can't delete, can't do anything, can't go to previous, can't add data, and we can't see anything. Now part one is that it's done. I will simply say that the interface of the application is done. So let us use these few minutes around to make sure that we go and create Excel database, and then we shall bring the Excel, we connect it to our Visual Basic system, and after the end of the day we are also going to learn how can we make this into a real application which can be set up in someone's computer, complete program, and then will be ready to be sold on the market or to sell on the market. You get? So if you know this video is going to really help you, or so far is helping you, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Thank you. So let me just go to part 2, which we said. Let me close here so that we can come back to the coding later on. Just like I've said to you, let's use this minute of time to go back to our application, and we try to make sure we create the Excel database. Let's open up Excel. So I'm just going to open up Excel so that we can start the stuff we said. So that's Excel. Click on it and then make sure you open up it. So don't forget what we are doing to do at the moment. We are trying to make one on us a student information system. So we may just give our table, just leave it as table 1. So that's it. So come back in here, just make sure you click a blank one, database. I'm just going to call it maybe a student. I'm just going to call it student underscore data. That's going to be the table name. As you can see, the file name is going to be student data. So I'm going to put it in the documents where my stuffs are, so I can just right click there. I'm just trying to specify because I already have my folder here for which is actually having access. So these are already my system which are so far working. So I'm just going to add this one, which is going to be student data. I'm going to click OK, and I just come and create. Now come back here, just go to view and then go to design view. Click on design view. You can just leave that table as table 1, or you can change the name. So this ID, we are going to change this one into one on a student ID. We can just change that one to student underscore ID. I always like to use underscore because I am a programmer and I prefer to have something that is going to be unique. So this student ID can be an ID of a student at school. So this one don't need to be auto increment. We would like that one, the student ID, to be something specific. So in a simple term, to be unique, I'm going to make it to be one on a short text. And then here I may just give, okay, in student ID I want that one to be a primary key. So right click and set it to be the primary key of our data. Then we shall also need one on a student. I'm just F name to be first name, which is also going to be a text. We also are going to have student last name, so I may just copy that one so that don't take a lot of time of yours, my friends. So this is just going to be student last name. Just change that one to L, which is also going to be text. And we also going to have one on a student course, the course a student is doing, which is also going to be a text. And I'm also going to have one on us the intake here. The intake here. Now the intake here, we are going to use one on us date and time. That's what we are going to use for intake here. And we have the completion here. The year a student happened maybe to complete the course. So far you can see the fields we have there 6. If you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So those are the formats of the data so far I have. But don't forget our table name, which is called table 1. So I'm just going to go to save. or I'm just go to save, so that I can save my data. If you try to see, I've already saved. And also how I happen to go here, this is how our stuff tend to be framed. I think you can see here, I think I made some kind of mistake around. Shake back, so let's go back to design view and try to sort that. So this completion here is just going to be what known as date and time. So click there so that you can get date and time for the completion here. That's great. So if you happen to come back into design this, you can always click save, so that you can see the always what known as date and date. So it should be date and time. So I'm just trying to range this so that you can get the complete data. So file members, if you try to see that so far is done, if I can also just even save it like that, and I can close everything. That's it. So I've already closed our data, but don't forget our information is just inside here in access. I think you can check in access, called one known as student data. You get? So it's called student underscore data or student data. That's the name of our table or the name of our database. So after doing so, I believe the first thing I'm going to do at the moment is to come back again down here in our application. So you're going to bring that application to be part of this data grid we happen to apply here. So come back here where the known as server explorer, click on it, and then go to one known as connect to database. Click on connect to database, and then bring the database name. Don't change any format, leave it as it is, because I'm going to use one known as Microsoft Excel database file. So just come here and pick the database, but don't forget the name of the database, which is called student data. So click on it, and then just happen to click one known as open, like that. So before you come and click OK, first test your connection whether it is correct. So click on test connection. I think you can see the pop-up message showing us here that the connection successfully. So click OK, and then you can always just come and say OK. So as you finish that, trust me my friends, you should be in position to get a connection really related to your information. And I think you can just see down showing that data, this blah blah, the student data is connected. So what next that we are going to do, just come and click down here on your data grid which you happen to apply. Click on the grid there, and then just click one on us here down where it says choose data source. So click there, and then come here where they say data project data view or add project data view. Click there. I said click there, then you click on database, just go next, and then here don't change anything because that's the very database we have just added into our system at the moment. So just come and click next. Just leave everything as it is, just click next. Now inside here, come and tick all these stuffs. You can always cross check, this is what we need, so give a tick there, and also in the view. And if this one as it is, because we shall need it in our system as we are trying to add into the information, just go to say finish. You get, just click on finish. So if you try to cross check at the moment, everything is added, but also go and add one on us enable collection or column recording. Click there, or reordering. You can also click there so that those stuffs are really in the position you want. Maybe another thing that you're going to do at the moment, your stuff is so close together, you can always right click here again, just click there and just go to column editing so that you can give the size of the columns. So come back here, you'll find that the width of your stuff is 100. You can give the width basing on what you want. You can simply say I want the width of my stuff to be maybe 150 per each column. So just copy that there, because what you're so far applying is only applicable to ID. So click also here, just change that frame to basing on what you want. Come also here, change the frame to what you want. Come here too, just change that frame to also what you want, and also come also here and there, change the frame so that you can get a good enough space for your system or for your data. And this also to the contact. Wow, do I have contact really? I'm going to find out, don't worry about that. I don't know if I happen to misspell everything, we're going to check out. So if cross check, we're going to be having something like that. Yeah, so I have here one on us ID, this is it, and that's it. So I can just also click back here again in my system, and I try to position my system basing on what we really need it to have. So I can just bring this system and I frame it kind of in the middle like that. So we have, this is completion, not contact. I don't know why it's giving me contact, so I need to first go and cross check on my system at the moment. Oh, members, we made a mistake. We connect ourselves to another database there. Sorry for that. So in this partition here, we have the ID blah blah. Come back in here, try to pick the right database. I think I made a mistake, so come and click here. Go to one on us, add project view, again data, click there, next. Now inside here we made a mistake. This was just the database, sorry, which I had been been using. I'm sorry for that, for confusing you there. But what I have to tell now, that there's another database called student data, which was the data we have just created. Click there and say next. So inside here, say next. Now come and click this stuff, right click there, those stuffs, click them, and then just happen to say finished. So when you try to say finished, you'll be getting your data like this. This is what I was expecting, because that's what we're going to be having in our data. So after doing so, what you're going to do now, again right click in here and go to column whatever blah blah, what you're going to column, edit column, just click on one on us, come down here and try to change this one to the size of 150. Come on, also change this to 150, change that to 150, all of your data 150, something like that. No matter what, just change it to 150. Yeah, so that all of your stuffs can be in the same group. Just click OK, and that's it. So one thing I'm going to do at the moment is try to bring this one back to the size of my system, so that I can get something which is a bit pleasant to my end users, something like that. I think the system is nice, my friend. That size I think is okay. So if you happen to come and click to run, you should get something similar to what I happen to create. Yeah. So if you try to check, my friend, that's my system. I believe that's good. I believe you guys are interested. You can see student ID is this one. The student first name, student last name, student course, student comp intake here, which is that, and the student complete here, which is that. So if you try to cross check, I believe the system is so interesting. Maybe what I can just do at the moment is try to increase on this little bit, or just leave it in it as it is, because that's it. Now one thing I'm going to do at the moment is try to go into the coding, or before going to the coding, let's try to add some few stuffs. Now click on student ID, just click here, one favor, just click on student ID, click on it, right click, go to properties, and click down, come down with the data binding, click here, open there, and just go to text, click on text and go to one on us inform into one on us data binding source or something like that. Click there, and I think you can see our data here. We have student ID, student first name, last name, blah blah blah. Just click on student ID, click there, that's it. So far this part's already catered for. Click also here on student first name, do the same thing, just also do open here and just click on student first name. Come on student last name, do the same thing, click there and also open student last name, which is that. Come to the student course, also just come down here, click there and also go to student course, which is that. Then also come this side of the field where we shall be having student intake here, that's it. And also finally with the completion here, which is just down here, completion here, which is that. So if you try to cross check so far and try to run the system, you should have something similar to that. You get? So far the system is already connected, and I won't lie, you connected, just waiting for the pieces of code to make the system function. So we are not scared of any other stuff that so far we're going to be having, but don't forget our student ID is the primary key of the system. Now I'm just going to start with this one on the close section, or maybe later just try to boost some kind of making some kind of discipline on our text to be kind of cool. So I'm just going to do one thing. I'm just going to right click all, I'm just going to select all of this, and I try to come down here, change this one from window to kind of some kind of color, some cool color. Just pick any color there, which may be kind of fine for our system. If you can get any, that's good. I'm just looking for any color which can be a bit fine for our system. If you think any is cool, we can take it. Let me shake that one. I don't know whether it's nice. We try to run it to see whether it is nice on our system. Just here to see. I'm going to take that just for today's case. Yeah, just going to take some of the codes like that. Just try to pick the one which may be any, and just pick a system kind of color. So just click on it and I try to pick this side, and I try to select it this side also, so that I can change this one from Windows to that kind of the color like that, so that my system will be having this kind of color by default, and the color of the text will be black, something like that. So if you can see, that's it. Yeah, and then let us change the color of the text of those tabs. You change the color of text, also select them, and then you can just make that one to be kind of white, info. Then the same applies to here also. Let's just select one on as info for them. That's it. So try to enter some kind of piece of data. That's just kind of decoration, some kind of data there. You should get some kind of pleasant information. If that's it, oh wow, you can't read anything. Wow, I think may just take it back to, sorry for disturbance, so for delaying any of you who's maybe watching this video. I'm just take the background to be white as it was, light black, light kind of that. Just try to change that to that, and then the text color of this kind of application, just take it back to that. Yeah, not to make things hard for our friends. Just take that. I think that's going to be fine. So if you try to check, the text is going, I think things okay. So let me just come back in here. The interface is done. Let's just go and work on this close button. So to work on the close button, just come down here, double click on the close button, and add the following pieces of code. Just say me.close, and I'll simply say the close button is done. So that's it. Or if not so, we can also say maybe can also give some if condition there. If it is to close, what should we say? What should the program say before closing? So I'm not going to put some if condition there at the moment. Instead, what I'm going to just give there at the moment is just to tell the program about what we have to do in our program. So come back in here on the pieces of code. I'm just going to click here, and then I click here. Remember this part of the pieces of code, we happen to come back here on the data, what known as data binding. So click here, right click, and go to the properties, and then just come back on what they say data bindings. So if you try to cross check, you have student ID. That's good. So come back in here where they say add, just double click on add, and just put one on as table binding dot one on as add new. So I'll be saying that. So far that's done for that pieces of code. Then I'm going to first leave this save. I'm going to just go to delete first, double click, then delete, and I'm just also going to say table one dot one on as remove current current, so that's going to be removing the current data. So for, let me also go back to the previous, double click there, and just say table binding dot move previous. That's already taken care of. And then you also come back in here, move next, double click there, and also say table binding dot move next, to be the next data to be moved to. So for those pieces of codes are done. So which pieces of code am I left with? At the moment, I'm just left with the one pieces of code. and that's going to be our saving. Now our saving is kind of a bit tricky because we won't be handling two steps ago. We'd like data to be saved at the same time. After data being saved, we after being saved, we can also next time fetch the same data. To do that, just double click on the save, and add the following pieces of code. We are going to say on error. What should we do on error? I'm just going to say maybe save error, like that. So since error is not handled, I'm just going to come back here down and I say save error, like that, with the full column, so that error is handled in our program. Now inside here, I'm just going to say table one binding, which is going to be dot one on us end. Oh, sorry, just double click again. I've said table one binding dot one on us table one binding dot one on us end edit, like that. Then I'll also say table one. Why am I using table one? Because that's the name of the table we happen to use in our program. Table one dot tab dot table adapt or adapter dot update. So we shall be updating our table. But inside here, what is the name of our real data? It's called student data. So this is going to be student data offset, which we shall be using in our program. Remember, we made a mistake somewhere in the program, if you remember very well. So I'm just going to be pasting that on there, and it's going to be dot what known as table 1. That's what I'll simply say in a program. So that's what we need in the program, or that's the pieces of code we had to need in the program when we to do our programming. You get? So far I will simply say that's it. So I'll just put here something known as message box dot show. So what message should I say to show? So when someone happen to enter some pieces of data, I'll just say maybe data saved successfully. That's what simple I'll just put there as my pieces of code. And then to end my program here, I may just put one on as the exit button. So I'll say exit, whereby this exit is going to be a sub. So I'm going to say exit sub, something like that, so that one can simply exit the program as not exit the program, but exit when the thing is saved. It should be important to say when I put these pieces of code, my program should be working as expected. Now let's just try at the moment to see whether the program is working as we expect it to do so. So I'm just going to do the following pieces of stuff to check whether the program is working. Don't forget our IDs is unique or it's a primary key, and we make to be text, so it does not matter whether you're using numbers or letters. So if I just give the ID to be maybe ABC1, and I give the first name to be always P, and the last name is Pro, the course is computer science, that's what I'm doing, or that's what I did. The intake here, now here's very tricky. The first one is going to be math, the next is going to be the year, the date. So if that's it, it's going to be 9, 12 or 13. The year, maybe the time you happen to join, maybe 2018, and the year they expect complete. So I may just say the same thing, and then maybe try to say here it's going to be 2000 and maybe 20, something like that. So when I click save data, you may find that there's no data saved. Although it's showing here data saved, there's no data saved. Why? Because we have to first click on us add new. So I have to just click on add new. When I click add new, you can see all the stuff swept up. But if I happen to come and say ABC1, and then I put here maybe OSP, and then I come and say Pro, and then if maybe I happen to put the course which is going to be computer, maybe computer science, that's what we have. And then the intake here, I'm just going to put anything there so that we save a lot of time, so that we can save time. And I come and put also here some pieces of data. That's it. So if I also, that's going to be 2020. So when I click here, I think you can see it's telling us data saved successfully. I think you can see so far the system is working as expected. and that's what you wanted, my friends. The same thing, if you want to add the next new data, you can always click there, and then you come and put, maybe if this is going to be Oguti, I can simply say this system is going to say maybe David, and then this one is going to be maybe the last name. Oh sorry, this is ABC2, and this is going to be maybe Oguti, and if this is David, just put there David, if that's David, and the course maybe is IT, and the intake here, if the intake here is that, put that, and then I put this to be, that's the intake here, and then the final here, complete here, if that's the time the guy happened maybe to complete the course, if that's it. If you click save, you should find the data put on successfully. And now to delete the data, to go to previous, you can see you can always go to previous, and as you go to previous, you can see even the information showing you for sure that you're trying to pick is for the other very person of the first one. And if you go to next, I think you can see this, which was computer science, now is going to be an IT person. I can think if you see everything is just changing, coordinating within the database. Is it okay? And if you try to click on exit the system, and maybe that's it, and happen now try to say we open up the system again, you'll find that the data last time we happen to enter in the system is the same data we happen to have. And again, if you try to cross check inside our system here, inside the system where we happen to put our stuffs on the access database, if you try to open up it, which is called student data, you should be in a position to get that data somewhere there within the program. So I think, guys, you can just see how this bit kind of enjoyable, and if this video has totally helped you, then I request you please make sure you subscribe to my channel for the other more videos. And if maybe we happen not to find it helping to you, or so helping to you, or it's not good to you, you can also comment down, try to give me a reason as to why maybe the video has not helped you. But if you find that the video is interesting and has for sure helped you, please make sure that maybe you subscribe to my video. Now that section of the video so far is done, so let me just try to come back in the menu in the simple way. I would like us in this period of time to show you how to make this system to look like this other, which I've said information management system, this one here. The way you can see this one here, which is a desktop application with even the setup. Now, to do such kind of stuff, the first thing I'm going to do first is this. I'm going to just close this application, as you can see. Or maybe I have not yet tried to show this. The system is also having one on us the close button for it. So when you click on this close button, you can also close it up. When you click this, you can also delete. Give assumption. If I come and say next here, this on a good here, and I click on delete, I think you can see that data so far is deleted. And if I click on close, you can think you can see the system is already closed up. Now let me show you one thing again. If you try to come back in this very same system, to make now this system to be an application, just go to projects, click on projects, and go to system information system, click on it. That's the same system we are having. Don't change any other stuffs here or about icon, just leave everything as they are. Just come down here where they say publish, click on publish, and on click on publish, there's something that I would like to just stock there. Leave everything as it is, but quote one as prerequisites, something like that. This one here, part of the completion here down of the program. Click there, and then you can pick the format how you would like your program to look like, how you'd like it to be, how to be installed. Should you also have Windows installer? Should you which kind of visual blah blah should you want the person to have? Should it also request for this one here so that can be installed? If that's it, then that's okay. So you can put this blah blah stuff, this too, so that you can have the installer of your machine. So when I click OK, that's great. You can also change the version of your system. You can also just leave it as it is. So if I click publish, I'm just clicking on publish, and then you're going to be find that the system is going to be done. Just wait in a minute. I think you can see it's showing us that even the system is having a setup. I think you can see it's in projects, as you can see projects where our real systems are. If you double click there, we have, this is the system where we have our stuffs. And if you try to see inside here, we have the bin and blah blah blah. So if you try to come back in here, they have said in the projects information, student information system, and if you try to click inside here, we should get one on as publish. If you click on publish, these are the files we need. So I can simply say I'm just going to delete what I have in the desktop, which was this one here, because that one of the other previous project. So if I happen to come back in here on this frame system of ours, so I may just come back in here and I copy that very system so that I can show you guys what I'm trying to talk about. So if I try to paste that very system there, I try to open up it here, and I just try to double click, and you just click on this setup if I want, or I just click on student information system. If I double click on it, I think you can go and see how it will be installing. So just wait, you're going to see when it is installing into my machine, and then we shall be saying we're going to be framing up. I think you can see it tell me, do you like to install this application? So if I click on install, I think you can see the system is already installed up in my machine, and that's great so far. I think you can see after installation the system is just very okay. And if I close in here and then I go on the desktop here, and I look for what known as a student information system, I think you can just see it is just here. When I click on my app, you should gain in position to open up the very app we have just worked upon. I think this is the very system we have been just working upon. As you can see, we can always delete what's there. I think this is the very system we have been working upon. So my friends, if this video has helped you, thanks for watching up and actually learning how to make a complete desktop application in less than 1 hour in 52 minutes. So I believe if this video for sure has helped you, make sure you subscribe to my channel, comment down, and tell others about OSP Pro, because that's the channel which I believe you guys are going to be learning Visual Basics. And if at all maybe you also love to learn very complete and what known as advanced Visual Basics, I'm not a mini guy. I have my friend called DJ Omen, who is also from Nigeria and is a good guy in programming. So you can also go and cross check on his videos if at all maybe mine has not interested you so much. If maybe what I have given at the moment you might be above that, it's also okay. I request you to go and make sure you subscribe to his channel. Don't be mean. I just request to subscribe to his channel so that you can be with him. Now if you're totally interested in mine too, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that button up. So guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Love you all.